Mérida here was asking, where do we get all the cool stuff we get? Well, it just kind of comes to us, usually by form of donation, and sometimes we just luck out, like you're going to hear today. Hi, mine fans. It's another day out here at Tecopa Mines, and this one kind of a cloudy, actually a rainy day. I'm getting wet as I do this, but my love for you is such that I will get wet to shoot this video. Me and Mérida here. Say hi, Mérida. Cleo's inside watching Miami Vice on the TV. And I wanted to show you some of the artifacts that we recently uncovered here, which will be going on display as soon as they're cleaned up. So here we go. Artifact number one, and this was just literally dug up out of the ground nearby at the home of a former miner who passed away a couple years back. I stumbled across this Tuesday as I was looking for some other stuff on the property, and just a little bit of it was sticking out of the ground, but I recognized it and pulled it out. And what we have here is a Thor Model 200 stoping drill. It's an old wiggletail stoper. It was a non-rotary stoper that was put up into drill vertically into the rock above. There would have been a handle here that the miners would have used to turn it because it didn't turn itself. We've got air and water lines over here, and an octagonal chuck hole up here where the drill steels would have gone. Still looking for the date and some spare parts for this thing, but she's a beauty. She's also pretty darn heavy. And eventually, gonna get her cleaned up, get this rust off, and get her on display back down in the mines. So it's the only one of these I have in my collection. I don't have one of these yet, and I'm proud to get this one and happy to share it with you. Item two in the collection is this old sinker drill here. Would have been used either as a jack leg, a drifter, or just a handheld rock drill for drilling the holes vertically going down. This also is a Thor Model 75, kind of a stalwart back in the day. They're still available on the rebuilt market today because built in America, built right, last forever. This one, again, in pretty rough shape. As you can see here, she was not completely buried, so exposed to the weather a little bit more than her sister stoper over there. And I got to do some cleaning on it, and like I said, as I'm filming this now, here comes the rain, so looks like she's gonna get wet one more time. Would have had controls over here for air and water. This would have been a flushing, for the air to come in to blast the air out of the bit. Mine drills like this are still in use today, so she's another nice artifact to have here in the collection. But I found these two. They were not the end of the story by any means at all. Also, I'm going back over here by our stoper. I've got this here, which may not look like much, but it really is. This was a post used for a drifter drill back in the day before the jack legs came into being. This turn screw here would have been used to wedge this post in between the floor of the mine and the back or ceiling of the mine. And then a drill would have been mounted on this on a carriage that would have gone forward to put the holes into the drift to push it forward, hence the name of a drifter drill. So the older drills, pre-jack leg, would have been mounted on a carriage that was mounted on this here post. And again, these are old school, long gone artifacts. I'd love to have a complete setup. Maybe someday I will, but at least now I've got this post to put back in the mine so I can show that and explain it. I've got pictures at least to go along with it. And hopefully we're going to get her lubricated and put back into the mine so people can see it where it's supposed to be. And lest you think that I only got one of those, no, we really hit the jackpot when I was digging that up. Found another one over here. A little smaller, but same deal. Would have gone here, set on the floor of the mine, gone up and wedged up to the top, and a carriage would have been attached to it somewhere along the line for another drifter drill. So I'll put one of these in each of the mines. And you can also see we got a considerable amount of drill steel over here, which again, going to be cleaned up, put back on display in here. And this is kind of a unique one. I haven't seen steels like this before. The ends of these have this sort of very thick screw end on it here. And the other end has an oversized receptacle to catch that screw. So a lot of these, which are octagonal, could have been hooked together for drilling some pretty long and deep holes. And if you've got any suggestions what those might be, hey, I'm all ears, because I haven't found any of these yet. I'm happy to have these, and unfortunately they're going to get wet one more time since the screen popped up before I can get them all cleared and under cover. In fact, I'm still going to try to tarp on them all in a minute, but the wind's picking up out here too, as you may be able to hear. Got a few of the old drills here that still have the removable bits here. Got lots of those, and drill steels that don't have bits, but I've got more bits than I got steel. So add a couple of tools into the mix, including this here, which honestly I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I get the idea that it has something to do with, well, something. But a lot of stuff out here is new stuff to me, and I'm still working on identifying it. But it's a nice addition to the collection here, and it's going to be put in memoriam of, Junior Huffman, an old miner who used to live and work here in the Tecopa area. And all this was his equipment at one time, and it was donated to the mine museum. So eventually you're going to see it on display back in there, along with, ideally, a display about Junior and some stories about him and his life out here, because he was interesting from what I've heard. Unfortunately, he passed before I got to meet him, but he was all kinds of character, and a miner was only one of the things that he did back in the day. So stay tuned, stick around, and if you like this, please tell your friends to subscribe. If you don't like it, tell your enemies to subscribe. Just get someone to like and subscribe, please. And I gotta watch this weather coming in over here and see if I can get some sort of tarp over this stuff before it gets too soaked. So, and I gotta get out from under it. Onward and upward.